Dear students, welcome back to yet another session on group discussion. Now, as I told you earlier in my previous videos, we are having a series of discussion on different themes which are related to basically your group discussion, right? So, here we continue with one more theme, that is presenting oneself professionally in a group discussion. That means how you are going to present yourself as a professional in the GD. Okay, that will be the topic for today. Now, we'll straight away go to the topic what exactly you are going to do or certain things you are not going to do. So, first impression lasts long. That's the old saying goes. So, here we begin by saying make a positive first impression. So, how do you create a first impression? Obviously, when we look at someone, we try to, before listening to him or her, we try to form some opinion regarding the person by his or her looks. The way he has dressed himself, the way he looks, the way he stands, the way he smiles, So, obviously, first impression you have to create, be it a GD or be it a PI. So, for that, what you need to do? Dress formally and professionally. People say men make dresses, dresses don't make men. Okay? But both are true, mind you. Right? Your attire contributes significantly to the first impression that you create among your fellow participants in the GD. Now, it also boosts your own self-confidence. If you are well dressed, if your dresses are fitting you well, you feel more comfortable and then you develop your own self-confidence and you are able to much more easily or better participate in the GD. Finally, others form an opinion or perceive you, whether you are serious or not, depending on your attire. So, obviously, you need to pay some attention to your dress or your attire. So, what is a formal attire? Normally be it a PI or a GD, one should put on a suit, formal shirt, trouser, that's for men. Likewise, women can also put on a formal top with skirt or trousers or a blazer. Then what should be the color palette? Now, the experts suggest that you should put on neutral color like navy blue, grey, black or white, but at any cost avoid bright or vibrant colors, too eye-catchy. Try to avoid them. Now, groom yourself properly. What do you mean by grooming yourself properly? Ensure that your clothes are clean, ironed and well maintained. Next, you have to maintain some personal hygiene. What does it mean? It can include many things, but most important ones I will just list out here. You should ensure that your nails are trimmed properly. Your hair is also neat and well combed. And that is, you are free from any type of body odor. Next, you should be feeling very comfortable with your cloth, right? So, if the cloth that allows you to move, sit, interact, raise your arms, right? Now, that is the best dress for you. What about the footwear, right? So, preferably you should put on a leather shoe. It should be black or brown. We call it a dark tan, right? Ensure they are well polished and well maintained. Next, this same rule applies to the women also. But then one thing I must tell you here, women or the women candidates should always avoid wearing very high heel, sandals, which will make you very much uncomfortable to manage. Accessories. Try to avoid unnecessary accessories. Keep the accessories to the minimum. A simple watch is acceptable, but avoid bulky jewelry that could be making a lot of noise when you are moving your arms or you are interacting. Okay. Now, after your this first impression by your dress and attire, next thing which is more important for you to present yourself properly, professionally I mean, is your fluency and spontaneity. Fluency is essential. You should not be fumbling, you should not be struggling or straining yourself with the right words. Speech should be flow, should be without unnecessary pause and interruptions. Okay? To speak in good pace with a minimum pause and hesitations is what is required in a GD. Okay? And that comes out of practice. Now, what is spontaneity? I said spontaneity refers to the ability to speak without excessive forethoughts, right? Taking too much of time to think and then respond. That should not happen. Next is self-confidence. You have to exhibit your self-confidence, right, in a GD. How do you do that? Self-confidence obviously comes from believing in the contents you are going to share. Okay? So, your voice often sounds clear if you are confident. But if you are less confident, you will be hesitant, shaky, and maybe you are remaining quiet more often. That will go against you in a GD. Next is use right vocabulary and phrases. What is vocabulary? Obviously, very simply saying, the words. More the number of words or vocabulary that is there in your command, you should be able to better, communicate fluently, as I said earlier. So, right vocabulary allows you clear, concise and persuasive expression. Let us take your example over here. The new education policy 2020 will positively affect quality of education. Instead of, you should have been saying, will positively affect or have positive effect. Instead, what you said, it will positively affect the quality of education. See, it was because of lack of right vocabulary. Likewise, phrases also. You can make use of some phrases, catchy phrases, right? For instance, raining cats and dogs. What does it mean? It was raining very heavily. Okay? You can also express, gratitude by using sentences like, or phrases rather like, I am really grateful and thankful to, say, fellow participant number 5 for opening up the discussion and throwing light on. Likewise, so expressing gratitude is, another way you can use these phrases to, express this. Proper accent. Accent is very important. Of course, I must add here, no need of copying any accent. You can have your own, but then pay attention that your accent is intelligible and they are clearly communicated. So, the yardstick is intelligibility. What does it mean? Your accent should be understandable to the average listener or majority of the listeners. All accents are correct provided they are understood. Okay? Now, some experts suggest that you should have neutral accent. Okay? What is that neutral accent is? Very simply you can say it is widely understood that avoids regional or cultural inflections. Okay? So, some expert also suggest that you use RP. What is RP? Received pronunciation. This is often considered the standard British accent, which is more clear and more formal in pronunciation. Okay? Then listening skill. See, you have to present yourself professionally, so don't have a notion that you will always be speaking only, right? And rest all will be listening to you. So, you have to also listen and you must develop your listening skill also. Okay? So, what does it mean? In GD, as a member, as a participant, if you want to score high, pay close attention to what others are saying. Understanding others' perspective is equally important, and responding is also requirements. Okay? Now, if you are listening very attentively, This will also help you to build upon others' ideas, which you can add to, which you can respond to, which you may also, give a counter point, disagreement. Okay. Now, if you are listening effectively, it will also help you to ask clarification. And if you are asking clarification in a GD, that will show or rather satisfy that you are participating. And your participation, mind you, is one of the very important quality your recruiter is trying to probe in you. Okay? It also helps to gain understanding of others' point of view. So listening is yet another, way you should carry yourself professionally in a GD. Next is turn taking. Okay? Now what is turn taking? Right? That means it is a process where participants alternate speaking, allowing each person to chance to contribute their thoughts and ideas when their turn comes. Okay? Now, I will add quickly here, it may not be always necessary in a GD, where you can, break this rule of turn taking also. I will come to the end. Okay? So, turn taking is another way to ensure that you are not monopolizing the discussion. Now, monopolizing a GD discussion will surely be a negative trait that the GTO will not be taking it very favorably or, very happy about. Now, how do you incorporate this turn taking into GD? Okay? Now, there are both ways. You can indicate that verbally, you can also do that non-verbally. Okay? Now, turn taking happens when you want to initiate a discussion, or you want to take your turn, or you want to yield the turn to someone else. So, when you are initiating a turn, so as a participant, you can signal your intention to speak. How do you do that? You can do that, as I said, verbally and non-verbally. So, in a verbal way, what you can do is, your sentence could be this way: I would like to add to what Mr. Six had said. Okay? Now, this is a verbal cue, and maybe the other fellow will say, okay, we'll try to listen to you. Okay, please go ahead. We are more eager to listen to you. Non-verbal cues, how you do when you want to speak, or your intention is to take the turn, right? So, non-verbally also you can do it by making eye contact with the moderator, if at all there is a moderator, or whom you have accepted as the leader. There may not be a leader formally declared in the GD, but then you have accepted someone to lead you. Okay? Second thing is that yielding a turn, as I said, you are giving turn to somebody else to speak. Okay? This also equally important as initiating your turn, right? So, participants can signal when they are finished speaking. How do they do that? Again, the answer is you can do it both verbally as well as non-verbally. Okay? Now, verbally, how do you do that? One of the way, experts suggest that falling intonation. That means lowering your voice at the end of a sentence. Let's take an example. That's the way it is as per my perception or as I see it. See, the tone is lowering towards the end. Okay? And this will indicate yielding the turn to someone else or to other members. Yet another example, your sentence could be like this. And that's why I think it's good idea to support local farmers. Right? Maybe the topic is, vocal for local. So you can have this sentence also. Your volume also decreases, your pitch is also slightly lower. That will indicate that you are coming to the end of your speech or sentence and you want somebody else to take it over. Okay? Now, also you can do it, yielding turn by taking a pause, slight pause. After lowering your voice, pause briefly before other person begins to speak. The short pause will allow the others to proceed. Or also alternatively, you can put a tag questions. Adding the tag questions such as, don't you think so, fellow participants, what I said? What is that? Okay, it is a tag question there you are asking to the fellow participants, and that will give an indication that you are coming to the end of your and you want others to take their turns. Okay. Now, you can also use, as I said, non-verbal cues. How you do it? Look at the person whom you want to speak next. If you have decided already you are going clockwise, then obviously you have to look at the person who is to your left or right accordingly. Sometimes you can just give a gentle nod or a smile after speaking, and that will signal that you are finishing and you are inviting somebody else to step in. A slight gesture towards the other person. Okay. Likewise, this will also indicate that you want somebody else to, or you are yielding the turn. But here I must add very quickly, while it is important to be respectful, okay, not to interrupt others and wait for your turn, okay, but waiting for specific turn to speak is not always advisable. Sometimes you can interject, right? Now, when can it happen? If you have a valuable point that builds someone else's idea, or you find that the discussion is going off track, you can do it politely and you can interject. Okay? But then mind you, you have to do it politely and acknowledging the previous speaker. But you must also simultaneously express regret for interrupting. Okay? For instance, you can say, sorry to interrupt, but could I ask a quick question? Suppose you need a clarification. Now, you can also interject or interrupt, but you can say, sorry to interrupt, but could you clarify that point with one example, one or two? Or can you indicate the source where from you are quoting the figure? That you can do. So, in these situations, you can always, interject or interrupt someone. Otherwise, if you have agreed upon, then wait for your turn. That is what is turn taking is all about. Now, etiquettes in a GD. See, etiquette, mannerism, that's a essential thing that you can never ignore if you want to project yourself professionally, okay, and more so in a GD. Now, what all you do? You can do many things. A few of them I am listing out for here for you. You are free to add to that. I am not giving you an exhaustive list, my dear students. So, what you can do? Pay attention to others' points. Make eye contact frequently, whoever is speaking, and also to other members. Acknowledge their contributions, right? Even if you disagree politely and constructively. Be open to different point of views. Avoid being aggressive if someone is not agreeing to or stating something which is not acceptable to you. Avoid going off the topic and don't ever introduce irrelevant information. Okay? Keep within the topic, be within the topic, and try to bring others also within the topic if at all somebody is moving out of the track. Invite quiet members. There may be in a GD, some members who are not very volunteering. Okay? So, it is your duty as a participant and you are projecting your professionalism or presenting yourself professionally, right? And the GTO will be assessing you favorably if you are inviting the quieter members to participate and share their thoughts. Now, posture, gesture, this is also equally important, mind you. So, maintain a good posture and body language. For instance, you must sit upright, don't slouch, don't ever avoid eye contact, looking at the roof, looking here and there, looking at the table there, and never do this fidgeting. Okay? Now, here I stop it here, for the day. We will be having yet another theme to discuss on GD. GD is a vast, area where, lot of things is there for one to prepare and get ready and do well. Okay? All the best. For the time being, I stop here. We will be continuing with the next topic. Thank you for being here. Thank you.